Hate crimes against the AAPI community must stop. Hey, I'm Helen. Today we are going to unfold the story of Asian American and find out how you and I can help. Before we begin, I want to ask you a question. Do you really think the pandemic is the onset of hate crimes against the AAPI community? Back in 1982, a horrific murder happened. During that time, Japanese car companies were doing well and the US automotive industry was in decline. Many US auto workers lost their jobs and blamed Japanese for it. A man named Vincent Chen was having his bachelor party at a strip club before his wedding. There were two white males at the same club and they were both auto workers, Ronald Ebens and Michael Nitz. They got into a fight with Vincent. The man looked at him and said, "It's because of you, mother that we are out of work." After the scuffle moved outside, Ronald grabbed a baseball bat from his car and began chasing Vincent. They were at the McDonald's that was nearby. They beat him to death with the bat in the middle of the street. Vincent died. If it could happen to Vincent, it could happen to anyone of Asian descent. The guy ended up not having to serve a single day in jail, paying $3,000 for a person's death. And they claim that this is not a racial incident. The judge of the time looked at these two white males and said, "These are not the kind of man you send to jail with. I want to ask him, then who should be?" Vincent's story clearly tells us that racism and hate crimes against the AAPI community started way back then. The pandemic is just an excuse for people to express their hatred, express their racism against our community. Fast forward to 2021, we are beginning to see the same things happening again and again. On January 19, a 91-year-old man was pushed to the floor in Oakland, Chinatown. Another incident happened in January. An 84-year-old man is dead after a horrific daytime attack in San Francisco. March 16, shooting at Atlanta. 8 people died. And out of those 8 people, 6 of them are Asian. According to the Stopped AAPI Hate National Report, there were over 3,800 cases reported in the United States alone for the past year. Consider that most people were indoor most of the time and a lot of cases are not reported. Chinese Americans take up to 43%, followed by Koreans, Vietnamese, and Filipinos. Women are 2.3 times more likely to be attacked than men. The type of assaults ranging from physical to verbal, with physical assaults take up to 11%. What does that mean? That means out of 11 people that were attacked, 1 person will be physically attacked. It might be punched in the face, it might be a push to the floor, or it can be murder. And guess which state has the highest reported hate crimes? California. And here's the list. Now let's talk about what are the things that we can do right now to help stop this. First, volunteer or join a protest. Second, donate. Third, report it and speak out. Number 4 is educate ourselves and our community. I'm going to explain to you in details. First, volunteer for organizations like Compassion in Oakland or in your local community. Join a peaceful protest to show your support for your fellow AAPI folks. Second, donate. If you don't want to be out and about, making a donation is a great choice. Here's the websites that you can donate to. Number 3 is the most important one, is report it and speak out. When an incident happens, no matter how small it is, please report it. You will find a link to report for crimes in the resource page at the end of this video. I know protesting and speaking up is not part of our culture, but history has told us being silent is not going to help. With no evidence, we can't force the government to change, but with a mountain of evidence, it will be impossible for authorities to ignore us. Look up to these people. Hollywood stars, Daniel Day Kim, Olivia Moon, and Danielle Wu. They said we are tired of this. Basketball player Jeremy Lin openly shared his experience with racism. And board member Lee Wong, he said he has been silent for too long on being victimized because of his race. Number 4, educate ourselves and our community. None of us want these crimes to happen to us, but if it do happens in front of us, what can we do? AAJC is hosting bystander intervention trainings so people can learn how to stop anti-Asian harassment when they see it. Our educational system has very little information about AAPI. That's why we must educate ourselves for it. And also when we look inside our heart, remove our own prejudice and judgments towards others. So when we have conversations, we can join with an open heart. With the ongoing crimes and even murders against our community, I know many of you feel devastated and helpless, but I believe we can make a difference by building solidarity and raising awareness in our community. Join me in creating a community of love for our next generation. Share this video with your friends or with anyone that might benefit from it. Thank you for watching.